Okay, internet is on. Okay, adalo se sola mal lungil busingan mergi dero kui. Solang ta duk merma mitram lidiul. Sola kita madengar every Tuesday, Thursday ngani take updates program ra atra MOH, EOC ma MEC. Sola ma ngaging facilitator Mr. Uherbelau el Caroline sola mam tan mo ready ng pagtuka information ako mes nga tiang direct polo to dar adra IOC mang akadolitaro gula adra se kom mom tabay gel to kol polo koy malot mom sao to mtiha ko nya rawre no tate ada dore nga suri adra ngare belau and manti mo gedra pek Tuesday ma Thursday direct dore nga asule la Agil Bebira radio station I'll go to directly intercept and we'll go help disseminate the information. So if you do that, please let us know. So I'm recognized to you. I'm going to asuli abange. Okay, madal was a margil sen mergid rogo Gaafar mar adra tial the begid meradra EOC ma directly MOC o MOC. But to kasir oi mang marugin bese legor meu MOH NEC ma EOC okay so na sa kanwa Michael ngumsa Gaafar mal polomura program rigi dali introduce ra tirgel panelists la ko sangay may gamna ikor ka Gaafar
may se malungil ko sangay Mr. Diaz sangay tuli ka kumla mga obreng Saul til mutlo isoy sige lo sige bring asulem Diaz Broadcasting Company ma director TAA Eco Paradise FM and a joint broadcast.
I say.
All man sulang ara broadcast the Tuesday ma Thursday night. Malumi na panel kita lal susetulik.
Say.
Topic kita mo of course mo streer adra blue updates ra tetelelawir at COVID-19 ma direkal mani ako korab esel laisil giram mo o aisil gil girela antara ako na tret ndakal gorak medal wa tret virus niya domestic ringing para started pick up para sila abalwada magi director ko mo kita update gil say so la panelist bes me gather al singe ang ariya Dr. Bing Dr. Constantine Dela Cruz niya Psychiatrist ra gidra Ministry ra Health Bangila Dr. Bing ang niya Rusiang Kotaro niya Prevention Development Officer Division of Behavioral Health ng Prevention Unit. Itirka tuli ka mamsadra the importance of sleep. Gidel kadamla smoothie and nutrition ma exercise ila ko mamsadra selbuk direct club tutelel part ra kekal silsigida daily routine gida maluspe ngil libay will rest digida direct mo part program gida la kasus
Pasay
direct ngatelo kung mama of course as always incident commander MOH EOC Lieutenant Udoy ma liaison director of public health Sherman Raisaw direct assistant liaison ng Tim Irmang PIO Ladon Bigradeo Mr. Olgarin Kasuol niya PIO cell NEC EOC direct Panggilan khusus malngani ang idilgel again comments questions since here are other loading one look the text the more say the one of PIO 775-1138 sige daw mo tetele la talk show gid lang khusus sa tulik
okay
mak reader ma dilungin na ko omo ra program lumiski da ko ra update ra tetele la audio at the COVID-19 response
okay
Wilgap singa tuli
Ipusay
tira last talk show gi da ko ram not given smoothie ya atyag ko gi ang ngaratay wa almay
Masay
kung simple arrival al litas 12 ngaramo wal clock simple arrive so ulan ta tirgay gi well 4 oral returning medical referral patients, ma-escort tertir. Tewal ngal school tirigel la momregal na graduate ra school ra Taiwan. Mangel one lab specialist problem tuira onti del mora government ra Taiwan alwase me tara lab specialist ulga ulmaste wal rigidra hospital. Ma tamle arrive matana more kita le quarantine site tigel one regular designated quarantine site ra government so is para el algo que ngara quarantine and 14 days subject and more gigil tool test and gigil test ra day 7 ma day 14 sel last test tira 21 July 21 and negative at Subril Morming. Dira kalgora titara update karita gidan domodong ni was a respiratory syncytial virus RSV kaya acronym sa RSV yang ngaringira apelura american seasonal so season ni algo ngara August tangara sige madalo ang wase para mo dul August mo ngi ako pick up program la mo start lo Mr. ni prepare girel
ya riter ka hali ko tiang ngania vaccine prevent ni mendial tungu al
dia ka vaccine ni edira kan dia ka harul so wal gora seasonal kida dimla sa bedel testing ra before diga gidel gora preparation gidel gidel la COVID-19 na dira kalmin ararawan na masil dong godong rilwa se biofire ese gidel biofire sa bedel osperingi testa patingin la virus ma kay gidel gora watretra mangaringi capability gidel elang al test so kora kung kala ko amlar men sel kapsol agawasen kora nganya flu like kora adal kora respiratory
ngwase
oy so ang koramlo concerning legesel me kamama kuksel protocol ra COVID-19 na kada test ra tirigay del mel influenza like malubes ILI tirigel mo pneumonia kada dira kal test tira COVID hindi tira ka koram lamo talbuil madaringen lo may selme ngari del gay sel the test at the negative ra COVID-19 ma tamlo tirale providers amlo korawa si hale the test tiril giret digital RSV lang namornya test dollar so far ngari nya 11 na vlada test tir ya 8 positive so last week yung ngari nya are 4 al week over the weekend ng ngari nya lilusel 4 mangwal 8 positive digital RSV ngari nya terul adults ya most tira ngal ka letya ora liwa tretra kada direct respiratory virus medal mo COVID-19 mang affect ra respiratory ya awan ra kora ay gidel kora olang alen malubin symptoms ringi medal di mo COVID ang mo ani aklen dalilaan pra lang artel mo kluk le bebirata meng mo mesen mo de al sual lo mungur al maaga kora ngarinya sumangul ngarinya ko pre-existing conditions ringi or madel tegi dal RSV amal oito tur malubog mal morido el mer mal la fektra bigya karil ngal ka matong masin dal tigagi dal bigya karil ngal ka mo o mal mosmera un mastamer hospital mosmera matigas tir specific treatment hindi haharul kada dire kalwadi the treatment symptoms sa COVID nasumang makayal dang maring lakadom sa Tylenol big malgiriran adal malima chloral mamandal dehydrate dire kalmal boy wiyu latya mal boy wiyu lal RSP sumora medra ading yung okluk mo bangos ngoseng sabi mal mosmer ma dire kal sumang mura bebulate belang mura klal yo muruti merut Ramadan ma ay siya makarem waider blood gina la COVID engem kal mosme erening siya nga geladan mosme ra upload nga ra 3 mo dula 8 days eden mo yak say yak pensioner niya direct kal major ma COVID-19 kada malabal frequently malabal ito kada dorot amada may niya da marir malat walo ko da clean ay gero ko para surfaces el bodo ol merut ay gale si marama adengwa marangal ke muk toiser sira gale omotsia eda algire del shera arwa oli ama ako ang gira kalmal close to 3 la dito 3 rangal kal mura basyol beto kan maklol adar gid yo orang niya te el mosmera tretra al tum kada smer malu kada omal finida so rat para la do to de dito kana no please so madyo sisi mahigel prevention ra a COVID-19 el bladosa dra imama del me estuli igual dio maklat que malera adra blula se me bodo gariki klas nesyangira tara wal kura badengela ase ang ngaringira balwadar el alta na to musliki kala ka bodo se
tiang sebel mo dira
le segi del bol su mang mal mosmer segi del respiratory mang wal kura pneumonia yang kal ngaringan ituta abadangit en prote el little mosmer maldiwa ko COVID-19 immune system ra su mangario e ka mosmer afectra lang serkaw era mangaria se el mosmer el ma
okay ya kita talmal el blula
mal talmal el blula oy mga seguida alas telgim go conference ko alas jud ko matirgal doktor ra CDC ora wal diblel heads up para maso ko mukura mo kari be on the lookout tel mortia e bay da kalo tingel wasto ko tam last start el test magiba yung wais el waste agi last start el test for agi blabati
tiang milgrami I mean seasonal meaning mabang kalayon tamalog ang
wala ka duwase akora lolgoringia silgale epidemia le sister gida maiga ose tal amla bimla ngarira angara molme dingok timla ka capability gid malu timla el sabed el test dimla ka bodingel wasel tay del buk pet al badingel arak ta ngariri gid then wal gora mild cases and tel tu mutamoranga malu better adal ngarinya kwa immunocompromised lugar niya Dela lang sa stir at mal mosmel mo ito so ula din lang aringi ding wala ka dotengel wasengoy ngal time ra a year en ngaringi outbreak aringi
okay dia elas tirgen merar el artasco kimle lo titira no grasku na tibe bi residence la na Taiwan al may question I was saying tiagi del RSV ngarngi ra Taiwan al time al open dia ko kana sa aspect lo say a flight nga ta sumoria Taiwan e mergo ya flight nga Taiwan me galen direct blalo kisi tial la RSP sing RSP
oi RSV oi dia hangora dirga kim pom
dim la can originate from anywhere dim
oi wal kora dirga wal dirga da bil tigarngi el waseng ngaringa galgi del gay sunong wal kora dirga da malmongil subi el waseng umlarigel el may
I see
ay wal ko kiti mi sa surveillance el almo ma testing ma investigation na mo maral mo waseng tiang amlarigel may yung mga taktiang di narabelwa da mangoy ngaral time ra yirang en medwu
I see okay me lang wal ko sa tirgel 6 el referar el armor escort til do mestra sin 12 el other bela batilo de Taiwan why say
12 el ave tirgel del direct tamle test ra COVID-19 awera lora le tirle negative o le negative tirgel na COVID me tirgel kalmara Taiwan e test tamle senda result test me le negative ra COVID-19
I see okay
Sa tulig mo kadaman di Hindi mo sa maklat ka bigla adra gigit preventive measures ay kang wabla ta dong ra ay kan namu mereka talk show lo sendi di yo si sul teletal is of edel so clear up to rak including ang gigit el RSV Isang ituloy kung ko at ito lang magtaktra ding o masindra adal ngun maklol wal ko di treat di develop pa mild symptoms di tal sanding erul sanding yang guk mo dia kandi una gidirek ko lo concern mapakar tol oil lel beso is del gurul malgora asmer of course the direct test tra covid negative hindi wagel landu di te bay o masindel ngaram garin ngal magidirek lo ngitra elan la school nding wade care center sa dirga open gidirek lo ngitra trigay lo ngara lagay lo basyo lo mesral ngal lo segol gergi ka bukto ko na disinfecting ra kay facility madirek bol magud melo practice sa hand washing lo material ngal lo mesetil minimize sa gidel spread ra at gidel RSV madirek di tel di utsul influenza threat.
Okay, melay kat blood rock lang COVID-19 na moran maklola de tiagi del RSV lang ako moran ke kerel ngal ko ise.
Ngora do mesa o urang wa ise bay magkerel ngal ka oliu lering at the same time tira sabi ilo ko ra mo taligi bil hito ya.
Abo setting.
O ito lang manggaita don direct lumkat kasi margo ka parents at sugum ngora to de care services lumes lang ligi ng ngora asmera tre la lo wan de care book mo ulang book ko sa biran mal ni pura lumkat kaya first release sa direct mo so to that pa kami adra media ma direct adra blue kora adi plat lagi lagay gidel preventive measures.
Gdaban lang mo lax lang dite gdaban mo lax sera Sunday aknora KB tial koroside ya rangal ka ngala stay the playground de milil as if madya ka kora dia hal kora gig marbo to makyatira tial rak mal
obol may se tulig ya tokta nga dira kalmilo kora tuta wata tingal tokta milo kora tuta wate yang baby rat time and kalpol makayal da jaka kled dalela hangal kamalubang adal mosmetal RSV ding di mo maralang artel wal segidel ng artel segidya wal gura oliulas diyan ngel sumanda da ngal ka artel de allol bale yung kus atarangal o mut aklal atarangal kamurmut and then magplot eleng atarangal kalmosmer katokadi maklas process yang contagious ng oliulas rak ito mar parents sa omes barangal kilas meret en sobari el hol para rangal ko malakal buras ko malwela kal bura de ger en tiang awan ragel po yu rak tam sa vela parents tel ngwa asiklip ni aslo es ngwa alkel el mera gurul en ngwa asiklip ni en sa el applicable el ngwa asiklip el ngwa mesra alkel el smer.
Okay, katolbon
pwede kayo gid so far tuloy ka ko ra update sa COVID ko tegi del RSV so kung hindi ka kuragel malumong comments yung most topic say the importance of sleep ulingit tra Rusiang move sa ito segment tra program lagi del anusus.
Okay, kabo Rusiang
anong ilgog singe tulig way ka na dilong Gaafar kada mo masadra importance of sleep.
Okay.
Ngari niya afford talpik na sleep pelbodo sa andi wala tel talk show gida yak mga taklip mo kada masadra aliway lungil lulungol may ken rogoy mo mga tmoklara adu kalem bet ma yero rogoy ka di say that mundo kalem na bekal kasus مقدمو إلى المساعدة importance ringing السقوم مقاوة هذا المقنيت علي ويوام yang lainnya ada of course yang ngil ali wiwi mang effective again celebrity sa 2000 ma ka sleep ato sa ringing important and mortigal ada makita ali wiwi ma mamulam sa importance of sleep lesel iway yung mal patol to am gotmok tel badingem ma norak tulum ma brainer ka abadingem mga nyat lel hin aben ka nga nyat lel lolungul abadingem masel sabadingem PS direct lolungul mang rest rejuvenate direct nga kang gester ngira stress management lebadingem organ sabadingem maptalum ma agimot sirgaw direct lolungul yes nga adat mo ko nga man mangitim iwaling man ko sa kodraw to swege man to ka kumdas ma inadira bit ang mga nga tela doctor bingon mo address ay kay kidel ko concerns ra adal kidela ay kay kidel ko ra ulo man dia kadungin iway or dia about the kamangat mi iway ko
mo say
direct very important ra asleep kung tela la badingem will repair itself direct tela la badingem to problem solve a problem solve la sukum kumading sa mam iway wa badingem madya ka lolungol leng masang digest also mang gina la badingem direct repair gina mo kaya ro lurior mang dia kan overheat dia kan direct burn out metal badingem is not a machine as much as we want it to be it still needs to rest for it to be effective ma igek tilong ako sa badingem ta ka lamasil mang gina lolungol mang sabel mga tmok like gina mga tmok radar remove radar percent percent ang suko mo mangitan iway como ineffective maluga mo makita mga tmok like gina mga tmok radek kalsil sarkaw okay mela ka na mo mera said hindi ka pa mera hindi ka move on ya after being amo move to smoothie set clinical part of sleep I say yang move to nangalakkan mo sadra ayel there's tang lomot liway lungi zikis are up nganya other effective function well liway will kasingileng 6 to 9 hours I recommend this 7 to 9 hours di kaul aga madangalia badangem gaw ya madangalia sel lungil sil sergaw sel mungil iway bigi sa tuta lungil sil sergaw ko madangek mong netelal hours magtaligibel mga kakarusal atin diakal ataro ko hindi sel recommended from CDC magtoktang rigida 7 to 9 hours masel do sadra ngil ngil liway engil lakatak la consistent taduk kalem lakatak la consistent tateme mom iway lakatak la consistent tateme magis asugum ka kamadnes karer angem mom iway mo masere maklugo gadik sleep in leng holiday or hindi ka ngaral guri at mom rule ang bay dia ka advisable lesson sleep in nakatomali aliwiwem makuk silsirgaw next day so those are just some things to get and mindful of nandiyan kasi mga sa mo make up pra aliwiwem or oy nga
I see.
And then another thing again aliway it has to happen at club say sa lamilgol for it to be very effective and helpful gutmok like agid healing ma rejuvenation ma repair apa dengan
I see.
then nganya adlo yara also imong tukok iway wan maloms ma aliway wan maloms ma aliway wan club say akakaros leng apa dengan nganya dingin badingay kwase milgol mlamok club say mlamok maloms hindi ka bulgula badingay maloklok malugila lomesa time ongol tasils hindi kan maami iway
I see.
It has an internal clock low isoringi direct nganya hormone low isoringi tiang tegid hormone ang clear melatonin mal atap olong da sa mo melatonin na help pergid iway wa melatonin na di o isa badingem et mong milgal kam na mo gira badingem shut down. It doesn't actually help with aliway. Hindi help no ay sa badingem cure ngi mo kwa sa milgol your body needs to shut down. It does not help with the shutting down. It does not help with how almob iway. Hindi cure badingem mong mo badingem mo milgol o mabadingem ka na mo gira start to shut down. So it's not a sleep aid as emigral mo aray ko at supplement ram iway maldi your body produces it low cure badingem low ice this is the internal clock masay gid hormone o ice raw mapatingin maseo. Ali maamil ko kapatingin man magiging shutdown or kansa ka na magiging shutdown. It's not a sleep aid. Okay, that and to talk about the other aspects of sleep.
Well, we have our normal circadian rhythm or the body clock. So we have our normal wake-sleep cycle. So if you would notice, even when we were young, and even if we don't have an alarm clock, we tend to get sleepy at the same time of the day and wake up almost at the same time of the day. Because we have our body clock that we can rely on. That's the circadian rhythm or the sleep-wake cycle. Now, there are certain things that might disrupt the sleep-wake cycle, okay? And what causes our sleep cycle to get out of sync? So one is not enough time spent outdoors because our brain knows when it's daytime, nighttime. So there's a certain receptor in our brain that can tell if it's time or nighttime. So when we don't spend too much time outdoors under the sunlight, then or under artificial light, then our body and mind might get confused and think of it as not really a daytime, so it might disrupt the sleep-wake cycle. Okay. Now, number 2 is being exposed to too much artificial light, as I've said. Then 3 is shift to work schedules or working during irregular hours, like the graveyard shift. Okay, it can disrupt the sleep-wake cycle. Also, traveling over multiple time zones, wherein you get a jet lag. Then, of course, there's the stress factor, and also if you're having an illness. Okay. Now, so it is important that we should somehow get back to our normal sleep-wake cycle. So there are ways to reset the circadian rhythm or sleep-wake cycle. Among these are, number 1, you get outside as close to sunrise and sunset as possible. Because when you see the sunrise, it helps signal your brain that it's time to be awake. Okay? And now when you see the sunset, it somehow conditions your brain and body that it's time to wind down. Okay? And for you to relax and get ready to sleep. Then number 2 would be to expose yourself to natural light throughout the day, because being exposed to natural light will keep the body awake. Okay? And the more natural light you can expose yourself to, the better. So you can get outside for a walk regularly, or even try moving your desk closer to a window with sunlight coming in. Then you should also normalize your meal times, because if you eat too much, then it takes time for your body to digest it. So if there's still digestion going on, then it might be difficult for you to fall asleep. So you should keep your meal times, the 3 meals a day, on a regular time. Okay? And give a 2-hour window before falling asleep. Okay? So that your digestion would be over by the time that you lie down for sleep. So if you're having problem sleeping, you should also avoid napping. Actually, naps are good. It can help you, short naps can help you to energize yourself during the afternoon, okay? But if you're having problems sleeping, you should avoid naps, especially if it's more than an hour, because it's like stealing sleep from nighttime, your nighttime sleep, okay? Mm-hmm. Then another thing you can do would be to switch to amber lights after sunset, because switching to amber lights would somehow signal that you're about to sleep. So it's essential well in somehow fooling your brain into thinking that you are stuck in the world's longest sunset, okay? So it can help you go to sleep faster. Then you should also limit screen use after sunset. What does that mean? We all know this is the electronic age. We have our gadgets, so we should limit screen use at night because the glare of the screen keeps us awake. So you should stay away from your cell phones, your computer, laptops when you are about to sleep. Okay? You should do that at least 1 hour before bedtime.
You know, Doctor, the problem is right now, and it's happening everywhere, especially a household where there's a lot of kids. They're all having a cell phone, even adults, you know, they go to sleep and hide underneath the blanket and then go on the internet and you think they're sleeping, but they're not sleeping. Comes to find out they're tired next morning, they cannot get up and go to school. So, you know, this sleeping problem also affect like myself, you know, the older you get, you know, like I get sleepy like 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, and if I do go to sleep, I'll get up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and I cannot go to sleep. Yeah, so I think the older you get, the more time you need to sleep, or the less time you need to sleep.
Actually, as we grow older, most of the elderly only get less sleep and they feel rejuvenated, or they feel it's enough.
Yeah.
So if you feel refreshed upon waking up, then that means you had enough sleep. So it's a matter of adjusting your sleep schedule.
I see.
So for the children, yes, that's a big concern at this time. So the parents should be disciplining their children. They should be in control of the time that the children will be using their gadgets, because if they stay up late at night, then they will really have sleep deprivation, which will affect their time at school.
Right.
In the daytime. Okay. And for the elderly, for some, 4 to 6 hours is already enough for them.
No, okay, let's talk about me. Here's what I do, you know. I'm 70 years old now, and I get up at like 5:30. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I fight myself to sleep. So finally I got my sleep. I get up at 5:30, and that's when I start my work. You know, I just get outside and start. But you know, I also went to Guam and went to sleep center in Guam and and they did some tests on me because I snore a lot when I sleep. And so they found out that I had a sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea.
Yeah. And they said that they gave me that machine?
CPAP.
CPAP machine, yeah, that's right. And told me to wear that. You know, so I went and bought me a CPAP machine at Dr. Yano's office, but you know, I cannot go to sleep because I cannot stand that like a mask over my nose, you know.
Yeah.
So I have a problem. So what I did, I put it under my bed, you know, and I just sleep, you know, and I snore throughout the night. When I get up in the morning, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I said, I slept well, but no, you snore when you sleep. You know, that's why you didn't, you know, get up in the morning and tired.
Have you tried sleeping on your side?
That's what I do. You know, I adjust my throat, you know.
When sleeping.
Right. Here's what I do, you know. I experiment this by myself. If I was sleeping on my back and I feel like I'm snoring, you know, I put my head backwards and sleep either on my left or my right, but usually I sleep on my right. And that stops for a while. But when I move and bend my throat, that's when I start, snoring.
Yes.
So, you know, what I'm saying is that when I was young, I sleep a lot. But when I got old, I sleep short, but I wake up early, you know, quite often. You know,
because especially when you sleep early, that's when the deep sleep happens.
I see.
So usually at 3 a.m., there's a shift from the deep sleep going on to the light sleep. So that's what's happening. If you feel that you are refreshed upon waking up at 3 a.m., then actually you can do your work. And if you want to sleep again, and if you feel sleepy, then you can go back to sleep. But, if you feel that that sleep is enough for you, like you say, you went to sleep at 10, woke up at 3, that's like 5 hours.
Right.
Then it depends upon every individual. But usually with the elderly, that's the reason why they wake up early.
Yeah.
Because they're shifting to the lighter sleep.
Yeah.
Or the non-REM sleep.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I call it a power nap in the afternoon, about 30 minutes.
Yes.
Power nap. But when I do a power nap in the afternoon, I'm going to have a problem, to go to sleep at night. So what I do, I cut it off.
Well, how long do you do your power naps?
I do it about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, depends.
Yeah, okay. That's actually good, the length of time. If you go beyond an hour, it's like stealing sleep from the nighttime sleep.
Oh.
But, of course, if you're having a problem with sleeping, then it's a different thing. You might not benefit from nap during the day. So the best would be for you to prevent yourself from taking naps during the day. Yes.
There's a lot of people, the reason why a lot of people are having problems like stress, constantly, if you have empty wallet, you don't go to sleep. You have empty wallet, you go to sleep? No. And you have a lot of bills to pay? No. You cannot get a good sleep, So with all these problems, doctor, we're having go to sleep, we're having problems, and then our eyes closed, but our brain is wide awake.
Yes.
Yeah, thinking about where you're going to find money to pay your bills or go to a funeral, or mudludod, whatever, It's when I was in the military for 23 years, we were sleeping. They tell us that you sleep Army will give you 3 hours of sleep, and that's it. That's a regulation, And the rest of the time you can steal your sleep, and here and there. But we give you 3 hours. But we managed to get a power nap, and then wake up. When I was in the Army, I'd sleep average between 3 to 5 hours. And then when I get up, I'm okay. And I did that for 23 years, but...
Yes, because when you're in the military, you do a lot of exercise, right?
Yeah.
So exercise boosts the production of serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone. Okay, that's why you feel good. And releases also the cortisol, or the stress hormone. So that relieves your stress. That's why even if you get just 3 hours of sleep, then that would be enough. Exercise is also important. Ideally, one should do it in the morning if they're having sleep problems. And the important thing would be not to sleep it off during the day, so that the body will remain tired. And then it will promote a deeper kind of sleep at nighttime.
I see.
Yes. Because being tired at night, because there are those who do exercises or those who do manual labor at nighttime, and when the body is very tired, the body will also have a hard time going to sleep.
I see. I've learned a lot.
So, take it tulingin mo ra. So, take it namin mo ra toktang.
Oy, komeng ako karaman no kumang.
So, Doc, here's a question. They're asking, can you get too much sleep? Is there such a thing?
Yes, but there's also a bad thing about too much sleep, okay? So it's extreme. When you lack sleep or you have too much sleep. Usually those who have depression can either have lack of sleep or oversleeping or hypersomnia, okay? Having more than 9 hours of sleep would be like having a sedentary lifestyle. So it will also increase your body cholesterol, and it also can lead to chronic diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, and hypercholesterolemia. So those are the bad effects of sleeping too much.
There's also a question about like how late can you eat before you sleep?
Well, like I said, you give an allowance of 2 hours before sleeping from your last meal. But there are those who wake up in the middle of the night and then feeling hungry, because that's one of the things that somehow people feel when they wake up in the middle of the night. They feel hungry, because that's also one of the signs that the body, signals the brain when it's hungry. So they can just do a light snack, midnight snack, okay, and that could help them go to sleep afterwards.
But not a full meal.
But not a full meal, of course. That would make it harder, because the digestion would have to go on for a longer period of time.
Yeah, it's kind of, when I was in the military, they told us it's kind of dangerous, like eat and go to sleep, because sometimes when you burp and then the food have a tendency of coming out, instead it goes to a windpipe and choke you to death while you sleep.
Yes, that's also one other thing.
Yeah.
You can aspirate your food that you ate.
I see.
And I think, Dr. it's also what you're eating, the digestive time it takes to digest. So
yes.
If you're eating heavier foods like meat.
Yeah, the heavy carbohydrate meal would take a longer time to digest, and that leads to poor sleep, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, in one of the diet, physical activity, take it a Rusiang kasi mungil aliway wa ablool to kora obes ringi malubing dia kada sal lomdak suringi le kada ablool di wagan di lung atulig kada stress bay omdas sura o mga leta ma kasi mo ngarang asa kan mo yoga or o ngalang sa kan mo exercise obes sa gid ko kwanda club hotel component. Dr. Bing, so here's another question, and I know that we talked about this I think in at least 2 talk shows. How can we cope with stress to improve our sleep? So we talked about the different ways to improve the quality of your sleep, but like what else to do in the daytime or during the day? You mentioned physical activity, but are there other things you can do so that by the time you're sleeping you have a better quality of sleep?
Yes, well, of course you have to know what is causing your stress. Okay. Of course, time management is very important, because especially if you're working, then you lack time and then you tend to be pressured. Okay. So effective time management would work, and just like I said, exercise can help relieve stress. And of course, if you're having problems with relations, then you might need some counseling from professionals. Okay. And it is important to have to be able to balance work with pleasure also. So you would also have to have time to have pleasure. Okay, spend leisure activities like during the weekend. Spend time bonding with the family, which is a good stress reliever. Okay, and have regular activities that could make you keep your mind away from your worries. Okay, and during nighttime, because we also this is serious. Okay, but when I say about the bed, as I tell my patients, the bed is only for sleep and during intimate moments with your partner. Okay? So having those intimate moments with your partner can also relieve stress. Because it also releases the cortisol hormone, the stress hormone. So it also helps with the sleep. It is a good inducer of sleep.
I see.
Okay? So yes, so it's a matter of balancing your everyday activities. Okay, and because too much work would certainly give you too much stress and might lead to difficulty falling asleep, and having lack of sleep can actually lead to having mental health problems with depression, anxiety, and even to having perceptual disturbances or, even psychosis if it goes on for a long period of time. So if you're having symptoms of depression and anxiety, it will be best that you also seek consult with a professional so that it won't get worse.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just another question that would it be safe to ask or to say that instead of just trying to address the sleep issues, maybe we look at the contributing factors or what leads you to a lack of sleep?
Yes.
Money.
So elal kita ya kana mira belu kita tegi del COVID-19 na ulang gidirek kalo omle lingit tra tokta Rusiang me lo sega gida ku pebira gida del mom dengai
Moise.
toko era avec kelsil sera klangargit of course gida textile madak tiarrak del mosmer mong
Moise.
hindi dia kalsel makararingi dia ka rule hindi ka vaccine mong kada practice of preventive measures, even though igal dosa dal atikal directly sa dal was preventive measures of COVID, hindi ko kadres sa igay dal bebira asa el mo ularak del mga article situation lang alsel.
Yeah. I don't know about this, whether it's, what I'm going to say now. I don't know if it's related to COVID-19, but I'm going to say it and see if it's appropriate to ask that question or make a comment about it. Stimulus. Stimulus is to stimulate the economy. And the money was not earned from your sweat. It was earned by somebody gave it to you. Mr. Trump gave it to us. So now when I go out, Gaafar, and I see these young kids, they're have cases of beer and drive a nice car, and I ask them, did you get your money? Oh, stimulus. What I'm afraid of is when they run out of that money and they're used to it. They're used to have money in their pocket, and all of a sudden, it's not there anymore. It's going to be all kinds of problem, I guess. So what are we going to do? The question is, what are we going to do once we run out of that stimulus money, and then the urge is there to go and find more money because, I used to treat my friends, I used to go and buy me alcohol and stuff like that because the money is going around everywhere. But when we run out of that money, Gaafar, who's going to give you the money? And if they cannot find the money, then that's going to lead into other things like stealing, even do something stupid, That's what I'm afraid of.
Man marang itulik again agay bebira issue medu sel ngania way gay del koram klol.
I see.
Oy emerald gida del mogorgi kleng kadukuk malasmal masam okra tara problem eba ibuk magara clear
exactly. Why say
makada gida del adi mogorgi klemal mo lingitra adra bulu rogul wasakada gida del man mo lelak le mungil lomdas wasing egal toko rule ngara mukte karingi ngara makara sa edel digid sabak karigi dara in the long run let tiado mesringi dakal dit pada the time el bol la kal rak tra bol adam
I say
agora pace ourselves at the same time and kada kadol ngitra nges or parents
I say
avec la del wase boda karigi le da klat kal gire la toko doru avec kal sis la
I say
al selo kadol dal time
I say it digid ngira de Gaafar mo setuyak tora siapat setuyak namo ngira del sois para modra conservative ngira del mo conservative elen elang gerdir okay elang go messe que community adrablement mo mesra 4 days work week oh emrogo can be less than that and worse is yet to come manglamo ngira del practice ra say the setuyak oh Setuya aral, setuya adengim, setuya agudem, lakadim gora easily dim oiteleng. Selemesel time, elakargau en modias elimita madam. So aku tiu de suega say parents gira del los sacrar ngelget al sugo mangania do del ngilai stimulus emdur til mengai te pasit mal over morega del mengi de set time el mei al buleda ma dir kum ran moklo mesel sayid oral me at least el sebed bara asesel sos ma asesel lega gid le sar el mru la galet esel completely dia how do en modias limita mada ya bo la limita mada de mo high blood de to mo health problems seguir elen ke mo full of stress stress to mean monday rap tlum el mom iwai wetel monday la bol dibus diabo mi boy tel brainer gao oh diwa se sugo mangal gargao se this is it and that's the end mlamotikao or something like that from split and the la stress monday problem mangira del mo ora giga so how do we deal with our stress ya sugo ngania problem with our stress ya ngagida toktar la sten la murgidel wasi po mestria professionals more likely a psychiatrist.
Oh, so along that note, Dr. B, is there a telephone number that if anybody listening should want to seek your
treatment,
professional advice, and if necessary, something more than that, how can they access your services?
Yes, they can call up Behavioral Health Outpatient Clinic at 488-1907.
1907, okay,
Yes.
got it. Oh yeah, I know that number.
Tuloy ka dito magklat ka na rekla the loreng sila saying the access sa services sa Dr. Bing malugong nidil service sa hospital ring hindi ang gilan nga ni sa gidal war negative lo the sweater lo sitya nga behavioral health mo kada smell per se kadro ko distress the may gid ya upte al ngaringi sabi edel mong access mal todo sa edel mo access ngo sugi darap to karak lang arigit
ngogi la Gaafar na duliti la toy hindi cell behavior health ako to ada belaul el smere ospe a help hindi ta mula se bleed kadi brab du seta se mula oba ban gigi de morsele hospital al bleed la oh hindi asbe de ma professional help like the concern el girela gagi de go tigingit tigel diomet a makita to el mergid mo sebe bila time o nga kala nga I'm beginning to feel like I have a PTSD. You know, all the symptoms that I'm going through now is PTSD. So I'm thinking about flying to Guam and go and see a head doctor at the Naval Hospital and see what's wrong with me. Because some of the symptoms is, when I go to sleep now, I want to sleep in a tight place and dark. And I remember when I was in the military, there's a PTSD. That's also another symptom of PTSD. And also I kind of antisocial, kind of keep myself away from people and keep my distance, Plus this COVID-19 make it worse, So I think I have PTSD. I don't know, but I can manage it. I'm ashamed to go in and my friends see me and say, DS is bleed.
So lang ang share matingin lo set laptop kal ada orang sing elaw nga situation mo agi ba yung ngit lo sa mo kadong ra sa gid den wall 488-1907 e bay may mele sa ka atoktang malbal salmongil mo matingin lo sing nga amal para umara ka swim maklangar ka e bay sa edel ko ra osikolel lo sa magrado sa mo okring o di bora internet didal kaul diagnose ka ing adi ka sa lungil mo again ka direct lungil ta reklado la setya malungil service di ka gira dal marul ka daro kul dinga niya angal sa nase da malit to mong ngaringi edi free mo kada malungil ta reklado la sa access sa gid especially al time da ngara ako ra uncertainty ra COVID.
I see.
Yung malgira dal di mimok kalmol mo access ay gigit.
I see.
So kung di ka kakura, di kaya mo dalgere tulik.
Oy.
Tirikal amlam umrek. Thank you, Doctor and Rusiang. Matsugum hindi kaya ako gere dilbor sa igit unless ang niya final question ka tulig.
Dia ang kurang mana interesting ay ganito sa lusata doktor. Dore nga sulir mo musum poda gabi ma next Thursday.
Madakaman sulang tulig direct kal T8 era joint broadcast dilbor sa igit ang talk show igit al gasus again hotline igit la Ministry of Health COVID-19 488-0555. Once again, ang sumungan niya adalo ranks, ako mo interested ay kaya kita luluko Dr. Dela Cruz and sa Elbol 488-1907 yung mga datu at tirigil alam ngarsi. Ilbor sa kita kaman sulang at tulig makuk Thursday night.
Okay, bye-bye na.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for being with us until now. We'll see you again next Thursday. This is Alfonso Diaz saying that I got this new virus, RSV. RSV, just like symptoms and everything is just like COVID-19. But this one here, only for the kids, little children. But COVID-19 is for older people like you and me and everybody, okay? So anyway, stay healthy. And we'll see you again next Thursday. Bye-bye now.